two extremely famous plumbers, Mario, and Luigi Mario, from the Super Mario Bros. Movie. You wanna know what makes them super? Because they triumph over the evil Koopa and his brainless sidekicks, Iggy and Spike, using only their plumbing tools, and they battle the Goombas. Koopa's hideous dino-human army. Those Goombas are scary. The Super Mario Bros. Action figures from Ertl. But don't worry, they're not real.
Alright, hey guys, and welcome back, as this time I'm taking a look at Super Mario Bros. Action figures from Ertl. Now, if you grew up in the mid-1980s, you knew there was one word bigger than anything on the planet: Mario. Just one whisper of this word could send shoppers into a panic-driven frenzy to mass-consume whatever product Nintendo had put the world-famous plumber on this time, with everything from comic books to toys, lunchboxes, cartoon shows, and even McDonald's getting on the bandwagon. It seemed like Mario was unstoppable. It seemed like the Mario franchise had everything, but still something was missing. But what? Of course, a big screen movie. And in 1993, Hollywood Picture Studio aimed to do just that. With a huge marketing campaign of commercials, the film saw huge opening box office returns, everyone flooding to the theaters to finally see their video game heroes on the big screen come to life. And come to life they did, except not how anyone expected. The movie made no sense compared to the video games, with plumber names being just Mario and Luigi Mario, played by John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins, fighting King Koopa, played by a very bizarre Dennis Hopper, who was a mutant lizard leading a race of lizard Goombas? The Mario Brothers had spring-powered shoes instead of using power-ups, and never even went to the Mushroom Kingdom. Something was wrong here, and fans could smell it. Still, a line of action figures were produced by Ertl, but sales were almost non-existent. Mario fans wanted no part of this rancid pizza pie, and in less than a year, the line was cancelled. Now let's take a look at some of the figures from this line that almost flushed the iconic Super Mario Bros. Franchise down the drain.
Alright, so now let's take a look at some of my 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie Ertl action figures. Now I have to say that these figures are definitely pretty hard to find. They're kind of borderline rare, but it's not for any good reason, really. It's mainly because the movie was a huge flop, and the action figure line made by Ertl was also a huge flop. So I don't remember really anyone having these or playing with these growing up. I do think they're kind of neat. I guess maybe more to me because I'm also a gamer as well as a toy collector, and growing up in the 80s, of course, you know, Mario was everywhere, and I will admit, in 1993, I was right there with my friends in the movie theater, and seeing this horrible abomination of a movie on the big screen for the first time, and walked out very confused and very disappointed. Like I said in my review earlier, just none of it made any sense. I mean, they did a pretty decent job, I think, with casting, as good as you could do with John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins, you know, as Mario and Luigi. I think they were done well, but I think other elements, like where you have the piston and spring-powered shoes, the Goombas that looked like dinosaurs and lizards and reptiles, and, you know, Dennis Hopper, he's like, you know, a military general or officer, but secretly, you know, he's the leader of this group of mutated lizard people, and, you know, it's just like, what? It's like, it's so bizarre. Like, this is what ruined it right here. Like, the Mario and Luigi you could forgive. You could even forgive the fact that they were called Mario and Luigi Mario. I could even get past the spring-powered or piston-powered shoes, but with King Koopa being just a regular military guy in disguise, and the Goombas being like 6 or 7 foot tall, you know, things that look like they came from a horror movie, like, it made absolutely no sense. Like, these worlds collided, and it just made no sense whatsoever. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the actual figures themselves. I don't think that they're that bad, really, but I think they're just kind of lacking in a lot of creativity. Now here we have the Bob Hoskins Mario figure, and I think that the overall outfit looks really good with the red and the blue, although it's a little bizarre because that's not the Mario face anybody knows. So it's weird to try to put video game and comic book characters into real life personas because it just doesn't match. Like, you couldn't imagine like playing the video game and having this face and like bouncing around, like, you know. So it's really weird and bizarre. So I don't think that it's bad, but it's not bad because it's just the real world translation as best as anybody could do. And sometimes I think that's why you shouldn't do things like that. You know, unfortunately, you know, for this in this series, they didn't have as much luck as with Mortal Kombat. When that movie came out, when I reviewed those figures, and the reason for that, I think, is because 90% of the characters in Mortal Kombat, they were already humans to begin with. And with Mario and Luigi, they're, you know, kind of humans, but they're cartoony, goofy humans. So like I said, I really like the outfit. I think it looks good. I don't really like the translation of the face of the real-world actors into figures. That looks just so weird, it's not even funny. The articulation isn't bad, you know. I mean, you have the head, you got the arms, the legs. They're standard 5 points of articulation. All they came with is one little accessory, and every figure came with the exact same one. Actually, two, I'm sorry. The Mario Brothers would have came with two. And that's these little spring-powered little weapons. And this is supposed to be Mario's tool belt, and he has a plunger on the front, and then you just click the little button and it pops out, and then you can, you know, knock the other bad Goombas and Koopas down with them and everything. And they would also have had a little tool belt. So it's funny, both of them are missing what the other one should have. So there's Mario. Let's take a look at Luigi here, and I think Luigi's done really well here, although I don't like the backwards hat, but, you know, what can you say? It was the 90s. And this is the other accessory that the figures would have had. They would have had this little rubber tool belt as well that would have gone around the side, and that's not bad. That's a nice little feature to add to that. And I think, you know, Luigi Mario that we have here, I think he looks good. The green and the blue looks good. I mean, it's about as good as you could do, and this is definitely a 90s fashion. Just, I don't know, the way the green and blue looks instead of just being like all green or green and white. So it's a little off-putting, but it doesn't look terrible. And he would have had a very similar little accessory to Mario, except his had a wrench, which I do not have, that would pop out instead of the plunger. Now, after seeing the movie so many years ago, I actually forgot when I first picked up these figures, probably 5 or 6 years ago, I forgot that I always thought that this was King Koopa, which would honestly have made a lot more sense to have this guy be King Koopa and then just do other figures as Goombas and stuff. I do like this little weird red, like, coat. Kind of reminds me of the Ninja Turtles when they would go out in public and they'd have their goofy disguises on so people couldn't tell they're lizards, and like, so this is all that they're doing, so nobody knows that they're mutants. They're just wearing a red coat. And I mean, like, they don't look bad if they were their own franchise, but to be part of the Mario universe, they look weird. If this was an independent franchise that wasn't Nintendo and wasn't Mario, and these were the villains, they'd be kind of cool. But putting them in the Mario world really doesn't work. They have like their military jumpsuits on underneath, and they have the, you know, the big boots on the bottom, which is kind of weird because they're not jumping, so I don't understand why they need boots when the Mario Brothers have boots. And they had the same type of little spring-powered, you know, accessory there. These are supposed to be like flamethrowers and laser pistols and things like that. So there's that. And then we have the unbelievably bizarre Dennis Hopper. Like, I went into a little bit of the description earlier, and yeah, everything about this is bizarre. Just from the hairstyle, which I guess is supposed to make him look like a lizard person. I don't understand. Not really. Again, I totally don't understand why they thought it was a good idea to have him be a military general or colonel or whatever his rank was. Makes absolutely no sense. And then he has his flamethrower again. Just does the same thing. Pops out, and so it's kind of lazy when you get down to it. And there was also a police car toy that was made for the line that didn't sell very well and was also pretty rare. It has like suction cups that can hang on to things and kind of comes apart like the Incredible Crash dummies and stuff like that. So you have that, and yeah, just really weird. You can see how this little thing works when you set him up, and he goes and I'll get you, Luigi. And it's actually kind of effective. I mean, it's not a bad accessory, but it's pretty much the laziest accessory that you could possibly come up with, in my opinion. Just identical little spring-powered, little accessories. I mean, there's just no creativity with it at all, and I think that's another part of it as to why the line really failed, because you can just see right off the bat, this is about as cheap as a movie cash-in trying to cash off the Nintendo brand as you can possibly get, and there's just nothing here in the toy line. There's nothing to draw your attention. The movie was bad. The toys, besides Mario and Luigi, they're terrible, they're stupid, they just don't make any sense. The finished product of what you get here is just very lazy and not really good at all. So that's why this line by Ertl flopped. I mean, it was pretty much just done within 2 to 3 months, less than a year. Nobody cared about it at all because the movie was so bad. You look on the VHS tapes and stuff, and it'll even say on there, it's like, recommend this to your friends, because like people had just stopped going to see it in the theater. So they were like, oh my god, please buy this VHS tape, please see the movie, because we're just tanking thousands and thousands of dollars. And it was just a huge flop. But I still think it's interesting. I have a little nostalgia for this, I guess, just because, I went and saw this in the theaters, when I was, like middle school or whatever, junior high, what have you. And so it is kind of fun for what it is. It has some good memories of that. But overall, yeah, just a bad movie, bad toy franchise. And Ertl always did this, where they jumped onto a lot of movie franchises where you have like, Batman Forever, Batman Returns. They did a lot of those toys with that as well. And this is one that I definitely guarantee they regretted hitching their wagon to. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed taking a look at the weird and wacky world of the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie and the action figures made by Ertl. So definitely let me know what you think about it. Did you go see it when you were growing up? Do you think it's bad? Did you like it? Did you think it was good? Comment down below, and I will see you guys back here next time. Take care.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.